We are at video number 0022 from wisdom to peace. True wisdom is the hardest treasure to attain on the spiritual path. When wisdom dawns, the soul stands at the doorway of liberation. A wise person is like a vast ocean, calm and unmoved, even when countless rivers, great and small, flow into it. In the same way, when the mind is mastered, no desire, however strong, can disturb inner peace. Such a person lives in a state of deep spiritual awareness. They know with unwavering certainty that the supreme reality, the divine spirit, is eternal, indivisible, and full of bliss. The student is asking another question. I have read that wisdom is the hardest part of the spiritual journey, and that once attained, realization is near. But what does it truly mean to gain wisdom? And how does wisdom lead one to peace? The Guru replies wisdom, which is Gyan, is not mere knowledge. It is not the collection of scriptures, nor the ability to recite verses, nor the power to reason and debate. Wisdom is the clear, direct understanding of truth, seeing all things as they really are, not as the mind imagines them to be. The student is asking another question. Then, what is this truth? The Guru replies, the truth is simple yet hidden by our ignorance. The Bhagavad Gītā reveals it again and again that your true self is not the body, not the senses, not even the wandering mind. You are the eternal consciousness that witnesses all these. You are that divine essence which is birthless, deathless, and unchanging. As Krishna says to Arjuna, the wise grieve neither for the living nor for the dead, for the self is never born, nor does it ever die. This is from Bhagavad Gītā, chapter 2, verse number 11 and 12. When this truth is seen, not believed but realized, wisdom is attained. A student is asking another question. If this truth is so simple, why is it called the hardest part of the journey? The Guru replies, because the mind resists simplicity. The mind loves the complex. It thrives on desire, fear, and attachment. It runs from one objective to another, seeking joy in the fleeting and ignoring the eternal. To gain wisdom, one must bring this restless mind under control, to turn it inward, away from the world of change, toward the changeless self. Krishna says, for the mind is restless, turbulent, powerful, and obstinate. But the practice, but by practice and detachment, it can be restrained. It is mentioned in Bhagavad Gītā, chapter 6, verse number 34 and 35. To control the mind is like taming the wind, yet it is possible through steady discipline, through meditation, discrimination, and devotion. That is why it is the hardest but also the most glorious achievement on the spiritual path. A student is asking another question. The scripture compares the wise person to an ocean that remains unmoved even when mighty rivers flow into it. What does that mean? The Guru replies, that is one of the most beautiful metaphors in the Bhagavad Gītā. A person who is not disturbed by the flow of desires, desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but remains still. Such a person attains peace, not the one who longs to satisfy desires. This is from Bhagavad Gītā, chapter 2, verse number 70. The ocean does not overflow when rivers pour into it, nor does it dry up when they cease. In the same way, the wise person's peace does not rise or fall with pleasure or pain, gain or loss, praise or blame. Their joy comes from within, from the calm depth of the self, not from the waves of the outer world. A student is asking another question. But how does one gain such mastery? My thoughts are wild, my desires endless. How can I become like that ocean? The Guru replies, begin with awareness. Watch your mind. Observe how desires arise, how they demand fulfillment, and how they fade. Do not identify with them. Desires are like passing clouds. You are the sky. Then practice contentment. Learn to be satisfied with what life offers. Krishna calls this samatva, evenness of mind. Perform your duty with evenness of mind, abandoning all attachment to success and failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. It is from Bhagavad Gītā, chapter 2, verse number 48. Through steady practice, abhyas, and detachment, vairagya, the mind becomes still. When the mind becomes still, wisdom shines like the sun when the clouds part. A student is asking another question. And what is this realm of a spiritual consciousness where worldly desires cannot enter? The Guru replies, it is not a place, it is a state of being. When your awareness rests in the self, you dwell in that realm, in that state, You are not bound by what happens in the world, though you may still act within it. You act, but without attachment. You give, but without expectation. You love, but without fear. The desires that once ruled you now knock upon the door of your consciousness, but they cannot enter, for your home is filled with the light of understanding. Krishna says, having attained this knowledge, one never falls back into delusion, seeing all beings in the self and the self in all beings. One attains the supreme peace. It is Bhagavad Gītā, chapter number 4, verse number 35. A student is asking another question. The text says that the wise person is aware that the Supreme Spirit is indestructible, undivided, and full of bliss. Please explain these qualities. The Guru replies, gladly. Indestructibility is avinashi. The spirit or Atman cannot be destroyed. Bodies perish, world change, but consciousness, the witnessing self, remains eternal. This is why Krishna tells Arjun, weapons cannot cut it, fire cannot burn it, water cannot wet it, and wind cannot dry it. From Bhagavad Gītā, verse number 23 of chapter 2. Undivided consciousness, Akhand Chaitanya. The one self shines in all beings. Just as space appears divided by walls but remains one, consciousness seems divided among individuals but is in truth undivided. When wisdom dawns, the illusion of separateness fades. Bliss, Anand. Bliss is not pleasure. It is the natural fragrance of the self. Bliss is not pleasure. It is the natural fragrance of the self. When ignorance ends, bliss shines by itself. This is why the wise are serene and joyful even amidst suffering. Their joy depends on nothing outside. The student is asking another question. So, when wisdom arises, liberation is near. The Guru replies, yes. Wisdom means Gyan, is the dawn before the sunrise of realization, which is moksha. When you understand who you truly are, not merely in thought, but in direct experience, you stand at the threshold of the infinite. Then peace becomes natural, like breathe. The striving ends, you rest in your own being. This is the peace that the world cannot give or take away. The peace that Krishna calls Shanti, the peace beyond all understanding. A student is asking another question. How can I bring this wisdom into my daily life? In the world of duties and relationships, the Guru replies, This is the true test of wisdom. Do your work as worship. See the same divine in all. Speak with kindness. Act with awareness. Be neither elated by success or broken by failure. Let your heart remain like the ocean, deep, vast, and still, no matter what rivers flow into it. Remember Krishna's promise. He who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results to the divine, attains peace. It is from Bhagavad Gītā, chapter 5, verse number 12. This is the path from wisdom to peace. Not escape from the world, but freedom within the world. Not the silence of withdrawal, but the stillness of the heart that knows I am not the storm. I am the sky in which the storm arises and passes. A student is asking another question. I now understand. Wisdom is not to know many things, but to know the one behind all things. And peace is not to escape the world, but to rest in that one while living in it. The Guru replies, yes, you have understood well. When wisdom flowers, peace follows. As fragrance follows the bloom, walk in this truth. Live as the ocean, calm, full, and unmoved. This is the path from wisdom to peace. Live as the ocean, calm, full, and unmoved. That is the path from wisdom to peace. Hari Om.